Sounds like we starting up. Hello?
Hello, hello.
Hello, my brother.
How are you feeling today, my guy? You well?
Yeah, man, I'm not too bad, you know.
Wonderful, wonderful. Love to hear it.
I gotta say, as
Mm.
my first guest, no, you are the first guest to ever be on time.
I
Shout out
always
to
try to be
you.
I always try to be professional about a deadline, let alone a meeting.
Oh my God, I cannot lie to you. You are
Yeah.
actually on time, like everybody else. I always got to wait a little 5 minutes, and this is on the
Yeah.
phone line. You read the time, and it's on your phone. You ain't have to go
Nah,
nowhere.
100%. I set an alarm even. I had to make sure.
Okay, that means in future we'll definitely do business, and I know you'll turn up on Tino's time, not South African time.
I can't make any promises, but I'll try my best.
Come on, man, you set such a precedence, man. You set such a precedence, my brother.
Nah, appreciate it, broski. Appreciate it.
How are you though, man? How are things?
Nah, things have been wonderful, man. Like life has been treating me very well. I like to call this little season that we're experiencing answered prayers. So it's been good, man. Work has been great. Just dropped a new single, got a new event coming up. A lot of
Okay,
beautiful projects on the way. Yeah.
okay. So what's this new single? Is it out yet, or you're dropping it?
Nah, 100%. It's actually out in the streets already. We probably dropped on the 25th of July. The song is called Delilah. It's out on all major streaming platforms. We actually have our exclusives coming through from Trace tomorrow. So it's an exciting time. It really is an exciting time. A song about love, a song about losing love and letting go of that love when it's not working. But damn, the pain of also losing that love. It's a beautiful record.
Okay, cool. I can't. I'm gonna make sure I tap into that. I'm gonna make sure I tap into that. Um,
Definitely do the
so
right thing.
so the first question is I just need to understand this, right? It's
Yeah.
Tino Chinyani, but then at times it's Tiana Africa. Explain the
So
difference.
Tino Chinyani, that's my government. That's my real name. So I usually use that when I'm doing business. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. So if you're catching me on a business day, it's definitely Tino Chinyani. And anything artistic, anything to do with my fashion, anything to do with my music is Tiani Africa. So it's just a good way for me to separate the two personalities of the two different individuals. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Starting there, who is Tino Chinyani in your own
Uh,
words?
I mean, in a nutshell, an individual that loves love, an individual that loves people, loves his God, and I just somebody that's here, that's free spirited, driven, passionate, but most of all focused on making sure that everybody feels the love that they deserve in this lifetime.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't
I feel
expecting
like
to
you
hear
weren't
that.
expecting
No,
that.
I definitely wasn't, my brother.
Yeah.
If your journey had a movie title, what would it be and
Yeah.
why?
Shoof. I like that. That's a crazy question. Damn. That's a great one. I think it would be Persevere. I think the name of the movie would be Persevere.
And
Because
why?
persevere if not resilience, because I think that's genuinely been a story of my life. I'm not somebody that dwells on anything, success and pitfalls one and the same, in the sense that I believe in progression. I believe in always trying to be the best version of yourself, trying to reach for better. So I feel like my life has been a constant story of starting again, trying to be better, and more than anything just getting back up. So I think the perfect title would be Persevere.
Okay. And what in that movie would be that turning point?
Damn.
Where, yeah. I mean, you said persevere, man. I want to know what the
Yeah.
movie's like.
There's been so many moments. Like I can't lie to you. There's been so many moments.
Okay.
I'd have to think like one defining moment. Sheesh. I think definitely saying the loss that I've experienced, like losing my best friend, losing my best friend's mother at the same time.
Wow.
Those are some of the like lowest moments of my life that I can genuinely say shifted the way I looked at reality, the way I looked at life, and how precious it is, and just the finality of it all, and seeing it all happen right in front of me was daunting, but in the same sense, I realized I had so much to live for, and I had so much life to live, and I try to go out there and be my best as an honor to both of their memories. Cause yeah, man, that's what we can do in this lifetime.
Nah, man. That definitely is perseverance and resilience, man.
100%, 100%. And that's funny enough. That's actually the meaning of Tiani. Tiani means strength and resilience.
Okay, we're gonna get to
Yeah,
that. We're gonna get to that.
yeah.
We're gonna get to that.
Mhm.
You wear so many hats: artist, entrepreneur, fatherhood. Which one is your favorite?
Anybody that knows me intimate knows that it's definitely fatherhood, man.
Okay.
I feel like we all have a purpose in this life, and I feel like my boys have been my greatest gifts from God. I know God loves me because He gave me those boys. More than anything, there's just something so special and so tangible when it comes to fatherhood, in the sense that I genuinely feel like family is everything, and when it's all said and done, your greatest trophy, your greatest legacy is the people that you leave behind and the people that speak about you fondly. And for me, the relationship I have with both of them already speaks volumes to exactly the type of legacy I'm trying to leave behind. So for me, when it comes to fatherhood, I've always said I can fail at everything else. As long as my boys love me, as long as the people around me love me, I know I did something right.
Okay, cool. I think that is true. I was hoping that was gonna be your answer, but you never know.
Nah, trust. I'm a family first type of guy.
Okay, cool, man. Take
Wonderful.
us back to your childhood.
Yeah.
My understanding is you're from Zimbabwe,
Yeah, born and raised.
born and raised in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
What values were installed in you early from Zimbabwe?
Perseverance. You have to be very resilient to come from Zim. I
Hmm.
mean, we faced so many hardships growing up, economical hardship, mental hardship, emotional hardship. We've lost a lot as a people,
Hmm.
and I think the one thing about being African as a whole teaches you is it teaches you to survive and thrive in situations that are not necessarily favorable to you. And I think more than anything, it's that grit that you learn from being in that kind of space and environment that really does show you that you can truly go anywhere in life as long as you put your mind to it. Yeah.
That's okay. Cool, cool. That's wicked.
Yeah.
I've got a funny question here that you're probably going to wonder where did I get the information from.
Yeah.
Rumor is that you was a head boy and a rugby captain. Is that true?
Yeah. Basketball captain and deputy head boy, to be exact.
Okay. What
Yeah.
drove your ambition so young to be?
Tradition, man. Like the one thing I'm truly grateful for is I went to a school with a lot of tradition, a lot of values, and for me to have that kind of brotherhood, that kind of camaraderie, that
Mhm.
kind of spirit in the school growing up, it instilled within me. And I won't lie, like I have to be truly honest and say that my father's been a big factor in my success. Somebody that's always been in my corner, but has always pushed me to be better. The one thing about my father growing up, he was tough on me, and I appreciate him for it now growing up because I see how much of a man he shaped me into, just being tough on me and just being that one person to truly just lay the foundation for what it means to truly be a man. And I'm grateful for that kind of influence in my life. And I think more than anything, just there's always been a hunger within me that just said there's something about you that's great, and I've just always clinged to that. So I'm never truly satisfied, and that's why it's always been good, or rather, it's always been something in me to reach for gold because that's all I've ever known and that's all I've ever wanted.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the biggest culture shock moving from Zim to South Africa? And yeah, tell me how that actually happened as well.
Culture shock. Culture shock is tricky because I used to come here all the time as a kid for high school for tours. So really integrating into South Africa wasn't like too difficult. But how it came about was varsity. I moved here when I turned 18. Started university this side. Did a double major in marketing and management at Monash. And I don't know, man. Like the place just made sense. Like there was a gravity about it, and I just felt like I was finally in an environment where I could grow and be more than everything I'd been from the environment I was associated into.
Hmm.
But it was dope, man. But culture shock, nah, man. There's something truly beautiful and loving about South African people. Like once you are amongst them and they really get to know you and your true colors, there really is a beautiful synergy that comes about. So more than anything, I can't really complain. I can't really say that there's been much of a culture shock, to be honest.
I mean, I felt the same way when I was out there in 2023 for 3 months.
Yeah.
It just was an experience. It's like, right, okay, this whole time in my life, I'm in the UK doing what? This is what I need to do.
Yeah.
And
No, 100%.
I mean, and the Huns didn't, encourage me to stay. Should I
You
say?
were influenced. You were
Yes, yes.
influenced. Yeah.
When I was looking around at the airport, I was like, Oh, I've been missing this my whole life. Oh, okay, I'm
Nah,
good.
trust and believe. And that's the thing about South Africa, man. Like, it feels like home. It feels like that place you've always been waiting to go to.
Hmm.
I mean, between the people, the freedom, the food, the culture, the views, man. Like,
Yeah,
South Africa really is at the top. Like, it's a top tier place to stay. And yeah, man. Like, as I said, fell in love here, started a family here. It really has become home.
for sure. Like they keep saying, we have found them. So we,
Yeah,
we,
we found
we
them. No,
found
hundred
them for
percent.
sure.
One of the best, worst kept secrets ever, but it
I'm
was bound
telling
to
you,
explode
bro.
eventually. It was bound to
Exactly.
explode eventually.
It's for all of us. It's for all of us.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
Where was the moment where you realized I'm going to be great?
Damn. When was the moment I realized? Geez, it's been a series of moments, you know. I mean, even taking it back to high school, as I said, like, being named like basketball captain, I think definitely the one moment that was truly a shock in my life was even being named deputy head boy. Because for me, I always had aspirations of, just being a prefect, just being part of the 12 was more than enough for me. So you get called out for the first 12, and then from the 12th, they make the decision to be who's going to be head boy and deputy. And for me to hear my name getting called out it was defining because I didn't think people looked up to me that way, or I didn't think that even the people that select from the elders and the staff that looked into who we were as people, I didn't think that they saw that much in me, and that for me was very defining because it showed me that my life means more to other people sometimes as it does to myself. But
Mhm.
I was just grateful for the fact that there were people that genuinely looked with hope and inspiration towards me, and I just wanted to live up to that.
Well, okay, that's awesome.
Yeah,
So let's talk about your modeling, right?
yeah.
What was your first big break?
Damn. Had a couple. McDonald's campaign, which was billboards all over South Africa.
Hmm.
Mobisol was pretty much a southern region of Africa campaign, which was huge. But then I think the biggest one was definitely doing the Gagne, the L'Oreal Paris campaign, because that was a global campaign, and for me it was crazy because I'm on campus at this time. I'm probably in my second year. I'm still in varsity, so I'm literally coming from res, and I'm catching a flight to go to Paris to shoot a global campaign.
Hmm.
And for me, that was just it was absolutely fucking incredible, if you can excuse my language,
So,
because coming from where I'm come from, like you don't get opportunities like that, and for it to have happened to me so young, my peers are on campus. I'm literally missing out on group meetings for group assignments because I'm literally going to Paris for work, at my very tender age. So it was all of those moments when I knew that no, there definitely was something special about the journey that I was on, and I just genuinely felt in alignment with what I was really doing. So those moments in my life were truly career defining, and I'm grateful for them, definitely.
okay, wow. So would you say the marketing qualification helped you? Because how did you navigate through if you was in varsity? Like, how did that
Yeah.
happen?
And let me tell you, if there's one thing I truly do appreciate about marketing, it teaches you how to sell yourself. It teaches you
Mhm.
how to package yourself. It teaches you how to communicate as a brand. It teaches you how to communicate as a person. And the one thing about marketing that I loved is it just teaches you to have a personality, let alone a brand about yourself that can truly be sold across any given platform. And I think just honing in on what I learned from school was so valuable. And then I guess management just taught me to have a structure about your life.
Mhm.
And it was one of those things where I just genuinely looked at my degree and I said, I could actually apply this to my real life, my career, and something that I'm genuinely passionate about. And it all worked out. It all worked out.
Cool. Okay,
My
cool.
parents weren't happy about the modeling thing, but
I mean, yeah,
there's a
I was
big.
gonna touch on that. I can imagine a Zim dad. I've sent my child to do marketing in South Africa, and now he's telling
Yeah.
me he's a model.
No,
Like,
he was livid. He was fucking livid. If excuse my language, he was not trying to hear anything. To be honest, he even cut me off when he heard it. But it was so crazy because the one thing I believe about African parents is you got to show them you can do it. It's one thing to have a dream. It's one
mhm,
thing to have this little fantasy in your mind, but
mhm.
you got to show them. And I appreciate my dad for that because he didn't just say, "Oh, okay, cool. We're going in that direction." If anything, him like cutting me off and being hard on me about it made me want it even more. And I feel like that's what really propelled me to succeed at a young age because for me, it was a thing of, oh, that's how you feel? Okay, cool. I'm going to show you. And that's exactly what I did. I just said to myself, there's no back down in me. If you genuinely believe I can't do something, I will give you 10 reasons to show you exactly why. And yeah, man, that truly is the story of it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
See, my co-host has just disappeared.
yeah,
I thought she was actually here. Okay. I guess
yeah.
she'll come back.
Nah,
Okay. I mean, I feel the same way. So, like for example, I've been invited to a YouTube collective
yeah.
event through YouTube. Like it's a private event in the UK, and
All
like
right.
I told my mum, and she's just like, okay, and I was like,
It's cool.
you just don't
Like
get
she
it,
didn't
man.
get it.
Like,
She just didn't get it.
you just don't get it, man. You just
Yeah.
so I get you, man.
Yeah.
Um, what was the realest lesson you learned in the fashion industry?
Whew. Know your story. Know your story. The one thing about the fashion industry is it can get so crazy in the sense that I feel like when you come into the fashion industry, you have to, especially coming from a modeling perspective, there's so many
Hmm.
opportunities to be taken advantage of. And the one thing that really just stuck out about me and my personality, and I used to see things that I didn't agree with from my peers, but genuinely I believe that that was maybe just the journey they were on. But I think the one thing that it taught me the most is to know your story, one from a personal perspective, because the world will influence you and manipulate you anywhere you go as long as you don't know who you are and what your story is. But
Hmm.
then on the opposite end of it, growing up under such talented designers and Sharia Ngowis, David Clales, there were so many like that I can relate to. But the biggest thing about them is I love the storytelling when they spoke on their garments, when they spoke about why the collection was the collection, what was the narrative behind it, what was the inspiration. All of them had a genuine story that they were trying to tell.
Hmm.
And for me, that really stuck and resonated with me because I feel like in life, our true purpose is to be storytellers. We're supposed to share the information we gather. We're supposed to share the knowledge and share the love that we gather. I feel like that's truly the human experience.
For
So for
sure.
me, the one thing that really struck out about that whole experience was the fact that that can only happen. You can only achieve your full purpose when you know and you own and you are passionate about the story that's in your heart and the story you give to the world. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. I can resonate with that, which takes me on to the
Mm.
next question.
Yeah.
As you transition from modeling into your first TV gig, um,
Yeah.
h- how did you find that? Was that transition easy? Was it difficult?
Do you know what's crazy? I've always been a lover of life. I've always been high on energy. I've always loved conversation. I've always loved people. And genuinely, from in my story, I got to a point where I felt like I'd hit the ceiling in modeling. I'd
Hmm.
gone international. I'd walked the ramps across Africa. I'd worked with some of the best designers that were out there. And I genuinely came up in a story where I made a name for myself, and I was one of the most prominent models in the country. And for
Hmm.
me, it was a thing of I didn't want my story to just be about he was a pretty face and that's all we know about him. I felt
Hmm.
like I had a genuine voice and a genuine story to tell. And even just in the being a part of the process of sharing stories and other people's stories and being a part of the platform and the navigation of how those stories are told was something that really resonated with me. And as I said, for me, ultimately, the basis of it was the fact that I wanted to tell my story. So I think just bridging on, did the MTV based top five, no, MTV based VJ search. They were looking for new faces, and I put my name up there. A friend actually told me, and literally went to the auditions, skied through the first round, skied through regional, made it to national top four, and broke my heart when I didn't make it. But the one thing about life is, sometimes God takes away to replace with better. And that really is the story of my life. But it genuinely got to a point where I felt like I had done it all in the modeling space. I,
Okay.
excuse me, I'd given the best of myself, and I just wanted something that was going to take myself or my energy to the next best level. And from the MTV based VJ search, I actually got picked up by Legend, a great producer, and somebody I can say I genuinely owe my young success to because he put me through the fire there at Channel O, and I did the top five drive with Denise Simba. And for me, that was a crash course to the industry and TV. And let me tell you, I was hungry, I was young, and I just wanted to learn. And they gave me the perfect opportunity to do that. And yeah, man, life hasn't been the same ever since. I'm so grateful.
So, what was the most surreal moment for you?
Poof. I think the most surreal moment for me was the fact that I'd actually never done any sort of formal training, but the
Hmm.
fact that I excelled so quickly at such a young age. in everything that I set out to do. It just genuinely felt like this was what I was always meant to do. So for me, it was a bit surreal because, mind you, I'm a foreigner. I'm coming from an outside perspective, coming into a new space,
Uh-huh.
and to just genuinely have people just treat you as their own, gravitate to you as their own, and just put you in a position for you to thrive and succeed. Not many people have been blessed with such opportunities, and I don't take any sort of personal credit for it. I genuinely am a product of grace, and the grace over my life has truly made me the passionate and loving person that I am, because all the love that has been given to me, all I want to do is give it back in the best way possible. So those moments really just did show me that I was doing exactly what I should be doing, and I just stuck to it and I just kept running.
Okay, okay. Last question on the modeling media.
Yeah.
Um, do you think the media industry boxes African men into certain stereotypes?
100%, 100%. It's a classic thing of your typecast.
Mm-hmm.
Tall, dark, handsome, must be a player, must be the Casanova, must be, and those are the things that I usually get cast for. But ultimately speaking, it's we all have a voice, and I feel like you have to use that voice. We've got media these days. Like, I feel like the internet is the biggest platform to really put yourself out there. So I feel like you have to take it upon yourself to rewrite the narratives that are told about you, your people, where you're from. We've been given that beautiful opportunity to redirect and just change the conversation. Don't get me wrong, there will always be resistance in life, but that's part of the life process. It's about redefining what's been said, about what's been done. And I feel like when a conversation of healing takes place, there's truly no limits to where you can take it.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
I love that also. Hi, you guys. I'm so sorry. I'm late to the party, but better late than never. How are you, Tino?
I'm fantastic. How are you feeling today?
I'm good. So on that note, I think I'd love to also just like bring in the family transition, right? Because you do mention that, as a tall, dark, handsome man, you are
Yeah.
being stereotyped or typecast to a
Yeah.
specific narrative. And I'd like to ask, I know already how you are changing it because I've kind of like done my research and I see that you are very much big on family, right? And you're very
Yeah.
much big on like spirituality and God and love and spreading love, right? And
Yeah.
how has that kind of been different for you to kind of change that stereotype and change the narrative and live something out that's different to what we would like typically expect from you?
It was interesting because like I remember I was even like speaking to my then agent and manager at the time, and we were laughing at the fact that like 95, it was actually 85% of my following was female, and
Wow.
it was funny to me because I genuinely thought that it was a bit more balanced than that. But then she was like, "But you need to understand the type of person you are and the type of content you're putting out." And it really did hit me in that sense that, oh, okay, this is what I've also been putting out as a person. But then more than anything, anybody that genuinely knows me knows that family's always been something that was close and near and dear to my heart. Like, even before I was a family man myself, I used to post of my parents, my siblings, because that's who I've always naturally been. It's just that coming into this new space of my life and this new chapter, it didn't realize me how much love I had me until I saw and created a family for myself. So the transition into the person I am now came very effortlessly because the love all around me just naturally gravitated towards those aspects of my character and those aspects of my personality. And for me now, it's genuine. Like, I never thought I didn't know love until I met my son.
Oh,
I didn't know the
that
depths
is
of
so
it. I didn't know
sweet.
what unconditional love meant until I had my own. And to be honest, like, ever since then, it's not even been like a conscious change. It's been something very subconscious, but I've just naturally wanted to share more of the love that I have for my family with the world than any other part of me.
So more like a natural progression, more of like something that was strategic. It's something that was already like part of like your nucleus
Yeah,
core family thing. So you just kind of had to like live it forward and just pay it forward. I love
hundred
that. So
percent,
why
hundred
has
percent.
like building a legacy obviously is important to you. Coming also touching on your fashion line, Tiani, how has that also translated to the public, and how has that been like also on the fashion side, not just walking the runway, but actually being the brains behind the brand.
So I feel like with fashion, as I said, like having the experience of being behind the scenes with some of the best designers. The one thing about me, I was always curious. Back to what I said earlier about the stories behind the collections, the garments. What was the conversation being had? But then also, as I would do that, I would always sift through the collection. I wouldn't just put on my outfit, walk the ramp, and leave. I'd always find myself going and seeing the materials used, the fabrics used, the designs. And I was very inquisitive. So I used to have that time with designers, have those small conversations there on the side, asking them why they did this and why they did that and what was the thinking behind it. And for me, the one thing I've come to realize about my own life, I've always been very keen on style. Style was always something that I felt was just in me. And for me, it's been beautiful because with the Chiyani brand, I've also refined my sense of style. And for me, it's just about giving myself out or a piece of my soul or my passion in a tangible, physical, in a tangible piece that can actually be consumed by somebody else. So for
Yeah.
me, that was the thinking behind it, and ultimately because the brand is Tiani Africa, named affectionately after my son. I wanted it to be a story of legacy. So the way I always say is it's a story of legacy inspired by family. And for me, it's just that one thing that I always wanted to say to him when he comes of age, 1821, when it's his time to inherit this thing. I want him to be proud and say that, damn, my dad actually did this for me. And for me, more than anything, it's just about giving a tangible piece of my love, of my passion to the world and something that they can physically consume.
Yeah. So besides Tian really just being a legacy that you're building also for your son, I'm taking away that it's also, something that you feel like he can look back and say, this is what my family my parents built for me, specifically just for me, and named it after me. So I love that so much. It's beautiful.
No,
It sounds
100%.
like a marketing answer, right? And earlier you mentioned that you did double major in marketing at Monash. How would you recommend to maybe, let's say, a student or someone that's listening to kind of make use of their academia to launch and sustain their entertainment career? Because also we know, like, especially in South Africa, it's not always that easy to kind of have a team helping you with your brand. You've had longevity from like Espresso days, and you mentioned earlier VJ, MTV VJ. How would you say, this is what has helped you in your longevity and in your relevance with your brand? Because I mean, Tiani is synonymous, excuse me, Tino is synonymous with family. He's synonymous with mental health and things like that, and like, a physical health. So how would you say that has really helped, and how would you advise or somebody that is doing marketing to kind of help and sustain their career?
So what I would always say to everyone, just not from an academia point of view, every space, every person you encounter, every loss you encounter is a lesson. And more than anything, there's so much there's so much value, there's so many gems that will be imparted to you because of your environment, because of the people you associate with, and just the natural academia that you do attend, the staff that also attends to you when you're at academia. But more than anything, the one thing that's always struck out to me, life is it's a learning process. The one thing you can never do is block yourself off to what's being taught to you naturally. And it doesn't mean that you have to sit down in the classroom to be taught. I feel like the one thing about people that they always need to realize is that even in you watching, even in you listening, you're learning something. So the one thing about me is even when I was in school and I was listening to marketing, and we used to talk about the five P's of a product, of marketing, product, placement, packaging. There was a lot. There's two P's I'm forgetting, but it's about taking all of those small elements that are relevant to what you are passionate about and just applying them. And that's
Right.
what I did. I took what was relevant in marketing, packaging. How do you package yourself as a person? How do you brand yourself as a person? What's your story as a person? And it's about taking all of those different components and different concepts and saying, how do I take this and do it and put it into something I'm passionate about, something I love and I'm curious about. And that's exactly what I did. I just took everything I was taught and I was like, okay, I'm gonna definitely now separate the things that are completely null and void. Because I mean, come on, like how did statistics help me? Like I still haven't found a reason to use mu in half of the concepts that they taught me, but it's in even the things like my economics classes that I still use those kind of concepts in my daily life. And it's always crazy because I do love to pick up a marketing book every once in a while and a management book because there's still so much to learn. It's just about being able to now just apply the concepts into a more realistic perspective. So what I would always say is to people, learn from everything around you and apply it to what you're passionate about. Because there's one thing about knowledge and passion. Once knowledge and passion are in the right room together and there's a bit of wisdom behind it too, trust me, that's a very dangerous person to have a conversation
Right.
with. Yeah.
Right. And speaking of package and passion, how does music then tie into, this this cross-disciplinary career that you have, because you released songs. How does
Yeah.
that also translate now to your packaging, and also incorporating your passion?
So music is music is a global language, and I
Right,
feel like
right.
music is that one media. Music and food, because anyone that knows me knows I love music and food.
Ooh, yes,
Music
that's
and
right.
food go hand in hand in the sense that they are globally understood. I don't have to be able to speak Chinese to eat Chinese, but I know I love Chinese because of how it tastes, right?
Right, right,
I feel like the same thing can be said about music. I don't always have to understand what an Afrobeat artist or a reggaeton artist is saying, let alone
right.
even somebody that's speaking in a completely different language. But there's something about something, the way something is said, the cadence, the passion, the voice, the life behind it that has always resonated across any spoken language. And for me, it comes back to what I was saying earlier about telling stories. I feel like the human core purpose at itself is to tell stories. When I even think about the pyramids of Egypt, they left pictures on the wall being hieroglyphics as a way to communicate with generations and decades after them. They wanted to be heard even after their time. And I feel like music is just the most beautiful, the most understood, and the most readily acceptable to the soul medium that can be understood across any space, ethnicity. So for me, I was always that kid like back in the day. I used to burn CDs with my sister. And the one thing about that era of my life is I would always end up knowing the music word for word, all across the genre. And I was deeply influenced by my parents. They used to play a lot of Sade for me, a lot of Luther Vandross, Lighthouse Family, Celine Dion. There was just so many voices that were like imparted upon me from a very young age.
Hmm.
And the one thing I loved about them, especially Sade and Luther, was the stories they used to tell. Like for me, those were so powerful. And then like even growing up into like listening to people like Ray Charles, if you actually take the time to listen to the message behind the music, there's so much spirituality to it. So I think naturally in my spirit, I've just always gravitated excuse me, towards music. And then as I grew older, I just realized, man, like this is something I wanted to do. And I can remember it was very distinct in during COVID, during the lockdown. I sat with myself and I was like, okay, so what do you want to write? What do you want to talk about? And it was during that silence of not even having a beat playing in the background that I just started writing from the soul. And that's where the rhyming schemes came from, the rhythm came from. And it became so much easier to write to music because I already knew what the voice inside me was saying. So the more I gravitated towards other musicians who also had a similar spirit of being able to conceptualize, and I want to say shout out to my producer, Vuga and Beats, the one and only Soundguard, because he managed to take every beautiful melody, every beautiful story that was inside me, and he put a beat, a melody that would now resonate to a bigger audience. And music is chemistry, but at the end of the day, music is spiritual, and it's just something that's always been in me, and now it's just a beautiful thing that I give to the world in return.
Well, we appreciate the sounds that you definitely give and the music. It sounds like it was a massive journey between COVID and finding yourself, which kind of leads me on to the next part. You call
Yeah.
yourself father of nations. What does that mean?
So when I say father of nations, I say that we are a father, we are a friend, we are a brother, we're a mother to everyone that's around us. Anybody that knows me knows I like to leave you feeling better about yourself. I like to leave you feeling more inspired, more hopeful. And for me, I grew up watching Boondocks. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
remember
yeah.
from
Come on, yeah,
from
yeah, yeah. I know Boondocks.
yeah, yeah. So if you grew up to Boondocks, it's literally in the what's this called, the intro music. It's in
Yeah.
the intro
Oh
music,
gosh, yeah.
the
I
the
don't think you
inner
can say
glow
the
to let
lyrics
you know
right
to call
now
your
for
brother
TikTok
son.
purposes.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember that bar. It's the inner glow to let you know to call your brother son, the story of what's to come, the promise of what's, that little bit. And that always spoke to me because you sometimes have that inner glow within you where wisdom comes from a spiritual place. It comes from the things that you've learned, the things that you've experienced. And for me, it's not so much a father of nations in a physical sense, but a father of nations in the term of inspiration, of hope, of love, of wisdom. And that's what I just aim to impart on everybody that comes into access or into contact with me, and that's been my story ever since.
And here I was thinking this was a Prince of Zamunda moment, soiling your royal
Nah,
oats.
nah, we definitely have royalty in our blood, but it's a lot deeper than that.
Okay, cool. Fair
Yeah.
enough. How involved are you in the business side and creative side? logistics
So
and planning of everything that you do.
yeah, so I like to call myself a creative entrepreneur. The one thing
Okay.
about me, yeah, I like to use my creativity to create opportunities and to create situations. So with fashion, it was a thing of I came out of the modeling space. How do I use the creativity from everything I've learned to put that into a sense that can now bring business? Same thing with the event space. It was a thing of I love having people around. I love hosting people. So Hey Bestie was literally a conversation between me and my closest friends, and we said to ourselves, we know a vast amount of people, a vast amount of brilliant people that are great at putting things together. And also, we've got a great crowd in terms of the people that are watching us and let alone want to spend time with us. How do
Yeah.
we bring those two components into the room and create a beautiful space, a beautiful platform for people to not only share and experience that love, but also join in on the party in the best way possible? And that's basically how I see it. I see creativity as the greatest source of income. If you can be creative about how you apply yourself to the world, you're always going to make money.
Okay. Yeah. I agree. And just touching on that point of connecting with people. I just want to let the room know, to all the
Yeah.
people that are watching this live, thank you for watching this live. If you want to ask Tino a question, just put it in the comment section and we will ask the questions as we get through this interview.
Wonderful.
And I
So,
think just before that, just to quickly jump in, I want to also find out from songs like Delilah and Chiyani, and you've got another song with Manu Worldstar. Which of them are your favorite, and which of those actually speak more about who you are right now as a person, or where you or the season of your life right now?
Can I be real with you? All of the music that I've made is in past tense, if I'm being completely honest.
Oh
And in the
wow!
sense that like some of the music you're hearing, like the one with Manuel Star Big Boys, we recorded that 2023. We only released it 2024.
No
Delilah, same
way.
thing. Yeah, Delilah, same thing. 2024. Only released in 2025. A lot of my music has actually been a collection. And if I'm being honest with you, I'm singing on quite a stack of music, but the music that most resonates with my soul is the music that I haven't even dropped on you guys. And that's actually the truth of it. So the one thing I try to do differently this time, and I'm going to be dropping something beautiful on you guys end of August, actually, end of this month. And I
Okay, a
think that
gift to
one
women for women's one. Love it. Love it.
you're saying, sorry?
I'm saying it's a gift to women for Women's Month, isn't it?
100%. And actually, that's the name of the record is Sweet Fusion, because I feel like that's the first time I've actually made a song and been like, I'm dropping this now. And for me, more than
Nice.
anything, it actually resonates with the space in the space that I'm in my life right now, my mental space, my creative space, my love space. So Sweet Fusion is going to be such a beautiful record that I feel is going to get people one dancing, but really make you feel and think about what you feel inside you. And trust me, that one's gonna have you guys shaking. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's a banger. It's
Oh,
a treat
nice.
you
Oh,
guys
nice. I can't wait. I'm excited. I literally got goosebumps. Can we get a preview, Nyana? A small Nyana something?
nah. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do that. But please do one thing for me. Stay tuned to the socials because I will be dropping snippets. I will be dropping hints when we do get
Okay.
closer to the launch date. But
Say
trust and
this.
believe,
We're already on
Sweet
it.
Fusion. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It's gonna hit you and it's gonna make you feel.
Oh, nice. Can't wait. Amazing.
just to touch here, we've
Yeah,
got somebody called I'm Brown Magic,
yeah.
who's asked, "What's one lesson fatherhood has taught you?"
Woof. The one that's actually quite an easy question. The one true thing that I can say fatherhood has taught me is patience. It's taught me to be patient with the process of love,
Mhm.
the process of understanding, and the process of learning someone. More than anything, kids are a lot, guys. Yes, kids are a lot. They
I'm
they
a
can
father
actually stress
too,
you.
so I know.
Yeah, you
I was
know what
about
I'm
to say,
saying.
Isaac, you know more than I'm childless.
You're
I'm childless.
childless. Trust me.
Unfortunately for now.
Take your time. So even in that being patient and the patience of it, be patient and take your time with it because when it does happen, it rocks you. So I think more than anything, definitely, kids teach you patience, man. They teach you to be patient with yourself because also no one is taught how to be a perfect parent. You have to be patient with the process of becoming a parent. You have to figure out for yourself what works and what doesn't work. And right now, it's interesting because my oldest son is he just turned 5, and I'm at that place in my life where I'm trying to be patient with the fact that sometimes he doesn't listen the way I need him to listen. So it's that balance between being a firm parent and being a soft parent where I'm really trying to find the balance. So it's in that patience that you just really find, okay, cool, this is who I am, this is where I'm going, but you got to just enjoy the process. So patience is definitely the one thing that has molded me a lot.
I mean, it's a bit. You're still in the good stages. I've got teenagers, so
Oh my lord.
yeah. So
How's that treating you?
I mean, she has her own mind completely,
Yeah.
and it's annoying. Like totally, she has her own mind. I'm just dad. I'm
Yes.
not cool. I'm boring.
Yeah.
It's that thing. So
It's
Nah,
the formative years, isn't it? It's just you being there really and how you respond to it in this moment, isn't it?
yeah.
yeah, I guess that's we're on live. We're on live, so I'll say yes and move on to
For the
somebody
sake of
else.
peace.
Somebody,
On
yeah,
that point,
for
on
somebody
that
else.
point quickly,
Go on.
how has like your definition of partnership changed since getting married and then getting kids? Because also your wife, who the lovely Sims Ngema, is
Yeah,
not a stranger to the spotlight. So
yeah.
how has your relationship changed from dating to married life and then parenthood?
So definitely, once you have kids with anyone, I feel like your relationship is just a lot deeper for obvious reasons. And for me, one thing about navigating that space is you got to be very careful that you don't lose each other during that transition. Because the one thing that happens very often, and I've seen it amongst a lot of the young parents, the older parents, is that one thing you end up doing is you end up neglecting each other in trying to make space and love for somebody else. And I think the one thing that I'm truly grateful for is the fact that we've always been very intentional about making time for each other, making time to go out just as us, and remember why we fell in love and remember why there is love. So it's difficult, but it's not impossible. You just have to remind yourself constantly what you're in it for and what you're trying to achieve with the love that you started. So I think more than anything, I'm also grateful that I've got a truly amazing partner. So she makes my life easier in so many ways. So it's one of those things that you just really have to look up to the sky sometimes and be like, God, yo, I know you're looking out for the boy because how in the hell is my life
Yeah,
looking like this? Because
that is
yeah,
so sweet. That's
yeah, it's been
amazing.
dope, man. I won't lie. Every day does have its challenges. There's no such thing as a cakewalk in any long term relationship, let alone parenting. But as long as you've got somebody that's patient and is always looking for a solution with you, as opposed to fighting you, trust me, every conversation comes from love and not a division space. Yeah,
Nice. I
I
think
can
we've
see.
also got a question.
Yeah, I can
Oh,
see that
that's
you've got a
right.
question in
Yeah,
the
there's a
comments.
question
I see.
down here. What was the
Yeah,
most challenging part in your modeling journey, and
yeah.
what advice would you give someone who has interest in it?
So my most challenging part of my modeling journey was the fact that I didn't enjoy that I didn't necessarily control the narrative. I felt like with modeling they just said put on this, and regardless of what it was, you just have to do it because that's the job. So for me, I had a lot of issues with that because as an African man, as a man that has a lot of pride and a lot of a lot of identity in myself and who I am, there was just certain things I just didn't agree with doing, let alone wearing, just for the sake of it's a job. And that's one thing I struggled with because even having a conversation with people around it, it's a thing of, but this is the job, you have to. And that's why I think also was one of the reasons I slowly started to slip away from traditional modeling because I felt like I was growing into myself and I didn't want to just be a canvas for somebody else's story at any given time, especially if it didn't resonate with me. And that's why even towards the end of my traditional modeling career, I started to become a lot more picky with the places and the people I wanted to collaborate with because I never wanted to now be perceived as something else because of something that was now being done or imposed upon me just from a perspective of it's a job. So then my advice to the next person would be know who you are coming into the modeling space and know where you're trying to take the modeling to. I don't think that that truly wants to be somebody special in life just aspires to be a model. Modeling gives you a beautiful opportunity and a beautiful platform to put yourself out there into different spaces, to network in different communities. And the beautiful thing about modeling is you model everything. So you model for banks, you model for jewelry, you model for farming. I've done agricultural shoots, and from being across all of those different spaces, I've learned so much. So I always say to people, know your story, know what you're in it for. And if you can do that for yourself, I promise you, there's so many other spaces in life that you find are so beautiful. So use the platform to become more. That's what I'd always say is my biggest piece of advice to any model.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Next question is, what track means to you the most and why?
Uh, we're talking musically, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Um. Oof, 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 oof. Yeah, that's a difficult one, man. Because
Take
there's
your
so
time.
many.
Take your time.
There is one particular record that I've done with Blue Puppy. Shout out to Blue Puppy. He also just dropped a project.
Hmm.
But that one project with Blue Puppy was so interesting because the initial thought when I heard the beat was playful. It was party. It was good times. It was we're having a good time.
Hmm.
But then when my producer challenged me, and he's like, have you ever thought to write in a more spiritual connotation? Have you ever thought, what if you was having a conversation with God? What if you were having a conversation about your love for God? And then the song completely shifted from what we had initially wrote down. And I even remember changing my verse. And that song, I would say, definitely resonates with me the most because I feel like I put myself into a whole new space and a whole new mind frame when it came to making music. So that one was very special for me. Yeah.
And what's your recording process like?
My recording process is very simple. The one thing I love about V is we like to record from scratch. So literally, he starts playing with the melody, he starts playing with the beat, and then it's literally a conversation of from what he creates. I usually come up with my hook first, and then from the hook, it's so easy to now come up with something else. So I think even one of my favorite hooks ever, 10 toes, I've been living on the road, making money, making love. You know how the game goes. Oh, and that was genuinely the story of my life because it was just the thing of I'm living on the go, I'm traveling, I'm up and down, I'm catching flights, and I was making money and I was making love and all in the same light. So it's one of those things where you really have to just look at your life and see where the music comes from. And it's one of those things where it happens so effortlessly. And hence I said earlier, music is very much a spiritual connection because it's so easy to get lost in just saying gibberish just because you want to say something. But once you really tap into somebody else's mind frame and their mind space when they're making music, you come into something so beautiful that you never could have even asked for. And so there's some music that I've actually felt close to tears writing because I'm like, damn, I didn't know that was in me. But it's only once you challenge yourself to also step out of your comfort zone that you really find beautiful spaces in music.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to totally switch it now.
Yeah.
Um, how do you balance public life and private fatherhood? Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that one is definitely tricky because sometimes there's things that will be said to you online that you don't agree with, things that will obviously negatively affect the way you see yourself.
Hmm.
The one thing that I've come to realize is you won't struggle as much as somebody else when you're being authentic. And one thing that I've really tried to be honest with myself is, and I remember thinking at 23, 24, 25, no, I'm ready for the world. I'm ready for everything that I've ever wanted. But it's only in not getting the things that I wanted and being let down and having public backlash that it really challenged me to ask myself, what are my true convictions? And the one thing about it now is I'm not phased by anything. Anything can be said to me and it won't brush me the wrong way because I realize sometimes people are speaking from a space where they don't know love. Maybe they're speaking from a space where they've never experienced the kind of love that I have. And for
Hmm.
me, one thing is I don't take it personally because you don't know me personally. So for me, it's like, yeah, you can say what you want to say, but if you were to meet me, spend the day with me, I promise you I'll change the way on how you feel. So it's just about being authentic as to who you are. And that's why I encourage people. Yeah, it's cool to have a persona because you're trying to make money or everything. But I promise you, if your online presence is your in life reality, you don't feel as separated. You don't feel as disconnected. And I feel like even now with my audience, I feel a lot closer because I'm just genuinely who I am.
Great. I guess, I mean, it's true. When you're online, it's very difficult to to stay yourself or show your true
Yeah.
self, but also have that online personality because
Yeah.
people all seem to make an idea of, people like yourselves who are in the public domain. They,
Yeah.
they have an idea of who they think you are, but they don't actually know who you are. So
True.
I can see how it's tough there. So what
Yeah.
lessons are you intentionally passing down to your children?
Man, phew, intentionally love. I think the one thing about my boy is he's Tiani is super affectionate. He's super considerate because I feel like he genuinely sees the way me and his mother interact.
Hmm.
We try to be. We're a big people on acts of service. However I can make your life easier, just say it and I'll make it happen. And hello,
We're
with
there.
each other. Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, you're there. Yep.
Can hear you.
Yeah, so I think it's even in those moments where he just naturally comes to see how we interact with each other and how the love is developed. It's one of those things where I think he's slowly gravitating to the idea and the concept of love just based off what he's seen with us. So I think love is definitely the one thing that he really has learned from us.
Can also just jump in and ask, what's your proudest dad flex moment?
Dad. Oh, my proudest dad flex moment. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
no,
sounds like you're
definitely.
very involved also and very intentional with it. So I'm very curious
No,
to know what your
definitely.
proudest.
My proudest dad flex moment was definitely doing a campaign with my son, like our first ever like Huggies campaign. Tiani could barely even walk at that point, but we were doing like a national campaign for Huggies, and for me it was just so beautiful because that moment was like, damn, bro. So we can actually make the bag together. You can't even walk, and you
Period.
and we getting this
Period.
money. So yeah, like that was amazing for me. So it's between that moment and then definitely doing a cover, a magazine cover for Twadi, and us being on the cover there together in that royal attire was it was life defining. It wasn't even just a career defining. It was life defining because from those moments onwards, I knew that this was definitely going to be my best friend, and I knew that as long as I've got him by my side, I can do anything.
Oh, that is so sweet. That is so
Yeah.
sweet. But also, I'm curious, because you guys are so close, what is
Yeah.
his current obsession? And how deep are you in it?
So let me tell you, his current obsession right now is what is this, bro? What is it? Bro rocks. What is it called?
What is that?
Brain
Oh,
rocks, and
Roblox.
it's the yeah, bro,
Oh,
yeah, and it's the weirdest thing because the characters are like all of these weird characters put together, and it's just some strange thing, yeah. So between that and like superheroes, so I'm glad he loves superheroes and Ben 10 because like I grew up watching like Marvel. I grew up
oh,
watching
nice.
DC comics, like Superman, Batman. So
Yeah.
we relate on that. Like we can watch movies on and on. We can have like a whole movie day just watching Ben 10 and watching superheroes. So that's the one thing that I'm really grateful for. And the one thing we're also starting to bond on, from my perspective, is basketball. Like we watch highlights in the morning, we go to games together. So it's those little things that I'm like, no, me and him, we've got a proper bromance. That's my best friend.
Let me
Love it.
tell you something, yeah.
Yeah.
You haven't understood Roblox until you get
And I'm not
requested
trying
for a bank transfer because they have to
to.
keep buying the blocks. So
I don't get
you
it.
don't know
Like,
what it is until they
yeah,
start asking you for 20, 30 pounds,
yeah,
right? That's
yeah.
like 700-800 rand for them to just
Imagine.
play on the damn thing. So
Yeah,
Is it like
you're lucky for
Lego?
now.
yeah. So I don't get it. I don't get it at all. I don't get why he likes it. I don't get what the idea behind it is. So I just let him be, man. I just let him be, and I'm just like, okay, we're just gonna watch this because clearly you like it. I'll just be on my phone low key.
Yeah, and wearing so
Yeah,
many different hats in the day, like, from fashion to modeling to TV to
yeah.
music. How do you protect, your children's emotional world, and also because they're still very quite young? How
Yeah.
do you protect how do you protect their emotional world while navigating also your own and being present in every facet of your life?
So I think that one I can't even take credit for. The one thing I really do have around me is a great support system. So the one
Nice.
thing that allows me to do is also when I need time off for myself, it allows me to just take that little 1, 2 hour, 3 hour like nap if I need to, or even just that moment of silence just to be in my space so I can create. And they allow me to now be myself and come back to them with a fully charged battery. Because I think the one thing that you must never try to do is try to parent from exhaustion. I feel like that's when you're irritable. That's when you're shouting at your kids. That's when you're always frustrated. So the one thing I'd always encourage all parents to do is if you are privileged to have a support system, lean into them because they'll make your life and your parenting job easier. I feel like that old saying of it takes a village to raise a child is a true saying because to try and do this thing one man, you're asking to be burnt out, you're asking to be frustrated. So always have good people around you and they'll make this journey much easier for you. Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
And of all your accolades, because you've got quite a few, right? What's something that you're proud of that maybe no one else knows that you were going through or that you were actually battling with?
Definitely my relationship with God. I didn't realize how much closer I needed to be God to survive what we call adulting, to survive what we call this life thing. And I was actually having a conversation with it, and I'm open to being wrong. But I always tell people if you have God, if you have a strong pillar of faith, if you actually take in the word and actually listen to the lessons that are said in the word, I promise you, you won't struggle with things like mental health, depression. I feel like learning the word and learning God better and his love for you will help you understand this journey a lot more. So the one thing early on in my career I didn't have was the relationship I do have now with God. And I feel like it is in having that relationship that has made the journey a lot clearer as regards to what my purpose is, how I'm supposed to navigate it, and also the wisdom that I should know in regards to going to a bigger place. So definitely I would always say my relationship with God was something I didn't realize I needed until I realized how deep it was and how much I needed to take his word seriously. So I definitely say that's been one of the greatest and most defining factors of my adult life.
I love it.
What's a major failure you faced that became your biggest lesson?
Woof. Losing the morning show. Losing the morning show was definitely the biggest lesson.
Oh, that was so sad also.
Yeah, like losing the morning show taught me one, how dispensable you are, two, how fickle the media industry is, and three, the one thing is don't ever attach yourself so hopelessly to a role, a position, a career path that you forget that you were a person before that. Because when I lost the morning show, I won't lie, I went into a bit of a depressive episode where I didn't want to get out of bed. I didn't want to do anything because it had become so much of my life. I'm waking up at 4 a.m. every day to go to this job. I'm on breakfast TV at 6 a.m., live television, 6 to 8 a.m. I'm shooting throughout the day, attending events in the evening. It had become so much of my life that it had become my entire persona. It had genuinely become the entirety of my personality. And it only took me losing that to realize, no, there's so much more to you. You have so much more to offer and you have so much more to give. And it was only in stepping out of that then I realized, okay, so what do you actually want to do? And I wouldn't be the Tino I am today if I still had that job, if I still had that gig. I feel like I would have just been a version of myself. And it was in losing all of that that I realized, no, I didn't lose anything. I learned a lot, but I didn't lose anything. If anything, it was propelling me to everything else I was about to experience.
So we're definitely gonna shoot that film Perseverance, bro. When I land in South
It's
Africa, bro,
alive.
which is real soon, we're gonna shoot this film. Yeah, it's definitely
100%.
happening.
Nah, 100%, man. We must definitely
We've
make it a reality.
we've literally already got the producer, so it's all right. It's all
We
right.
just need to find. We just need to cast me. You can cast my son as me, as long as
No
we can
worries,
cast my son as
we're definitely gonna do it. We're definitely gonna do it.
me.
How do
Nah,
you
hundred
protect your
percent. I
peace?
appreciate that.
How do you
Yeah.
protect your peace in an industry that thrives on pressure?
How do I protect my peace? Man, time off. I always tell people take time off, man. Like, and I say this because I actually recently experienced burnout. It was probably beginning of last month, beginning of July. So much had happened in the first half of the year that I didn't realize I hadn't given myself enough time off. And in an industry that demands so much of you emotionally, physically, you have to show up. The one thing I always encourage people to do is make time for yourself. Make time for your family. Like take time to just put your phone on D&D or airplane mode. Take time to get out of the city. Take time to go put your feet in the sand. Go sit by the water. Go have a conversation with God at 6 a.m. when there's no one around. I promise you, you need to take time off in any space of life. I don't believe you can thrive and be a healthy adult if you're always on go. Like this thing is tiring. It's exhausting. So in a world that demands so much of pressure, or that demands so much of you and is constant pressure, the one thing I always say is take time off. Take time off, make time for yourself, and just give yourself those moments of silence where you can just hear your own voice, hear the voice of God. Because if you're not doing that, I promise you, you'll break.
I feel you on that one. So, what would advice would you? Is that the advice you'd give to your 21-year-old self?
I think the one bit of advice I'd give to my 21-year-old self is, just believe. I don't want to be cliche, but I wish I believed in myself more at 21. If I'm being completely honest, I knew I had a strong sense of self and a strong pillar of confidence within myself, but I wish I believed in myself as much as I do now. But I think that confidence also came from perseverance and also achieving certain milestones and achieving certain things. But I really believe that if you have to be a bit delusional in this life. I feel like sometimes Delulu is the Salulu because you have to be delusional about the life that you want. Because what is being realistic ever done for anyone? Let's be honest. You have to have a bit of a crazy imagination in regards to where you want your life to take it. Because you need to understand the universe and God doesn't think you're crazy. The universe and God will literally respond to the energy you put out into the world. So I feel like if I
Very
had the stronger
independent.
grounding and balance that I have now at an earlier age, I would have just done everything I've done now at a quicker fashion. But I'm glad that I grew into myself. I am glad that I grew into myself.
Okay.
If there
What's
was
the
like a moment that you could actually thank out loud today, a moment, or maybe even someone or an
Yeah.
experience, what would it be,
Yeah.
or who would it be?
You said a moment, a person I can thank, or a moment
Yeah,
I
like
can
out
thank.
loud today for like a specific maybe experience or feeling that actually shaped you today to know what you know today and being a better person.
Sure. Gosh, that's a tricky one. Yeah, because I'm trying to think of the one moment I can genuinely say is.
It could also be like a shaping one. Could it be like at the beginning of your career or like,
Yeah.
maybe even after you lost the morning show, like you mentioned earlier, because you
Yeah.
went through like a really rough patch you mentioned. So it could be any
Yeah.
moment really.
There's been a few, but I can be honest with you and say, like, coming off of like my father finding out that like I was modeling, he was around now. It must have been a year later when I was actually now on billboards and I was actually now in store campaigns. He was around for my sister's swimming competition, and we're walking through the mall, and he bumps into one of my ads. And mind you, this is somebody that hated this and was completely against it. But then he literally told me to stand next to the billboard that was inside the
They
store,
can take a
so he can take
picture.
a picture. And
I
I'm
love
like,
it.
this nigga, you weren't
Of
happy. You
I
course.
weren't
thought you
happy
didn't
two
like
minutes
this.
ago. Now you see me outside, and your whole
Of
Now
mood
you're
has
course.
happy,
shifted. So
happy.
so I think that for me was like a super I did it moment, and it's like I
Mm,
showed you like. And for me, ever since that moment, it's always been a thing of I'm gonna show him and whoever else. So I think that was one of those moments that I really just I fell in love with what I'm doing a little bit more. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And I think also not to be presumptuous, but to anybody that maybe caught the last bit of this interview, like I was a little bit late, excuse me. What would you like them to kind of carry into their own lives from this interview, from hearing from you? What would you like them to carry into their lives?
Love, man. Guys, like I promise you, love is the cheat code. In loving your family, loving what you do, loving yourself, loving where you're going, loving where you've been. If you genuinely choose love every day you wake up, I promise you, the way your life will shift will be something that you'll say is groundbreaking, and you'll even come back and be like, my whole perspective changes. The one thing about life is always testing us, it's always challenging us, it's always pushing us down, it's always limiting us, it's always blocking us. But for me, you have to love even the challenges that come and laugh at them and be like, do you know who you actually talking to? I'm not the one to just back down and give up. So one thing about me is I love this life thing. I wouldn't trade it for anything. J. Cole said it best when he said there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. And for
Yep.
me, I just fell in love with my life 10 times over once I heard that. And just the way I just relentlessly, I wake up at six, not six, five. Oh,
Yep.
like
The
I wake up
5
at
a.m.
5:30
club.
for
Yep.
six. I wake up at 5:30 for six, and I go to the gym when it's cold, when I'm grumpy, when I've had a long night, because I love to look good. I love to feel good. I love the feeling of I accomplished that and I got over that. You just have to love the journey. So once you fall in love with the whole entire process of what we are meant to experience as people, your life will shift. I promise you, it really will.
Which leads to my next question. So, do
Yeah.
you ever feel misunderstood?
Definitely, definitely. I feel like to be misunderstood is such a integral part of the human experience. But the one thing about being misunderstood is don't also take your time and also go into a negative connotation of trying to explain yourself to everybody. Everybody that naturally understands you and gravitates you, those are your people. Where you are misunderstood, where you're misinterpreted, where you're misdiagnosed and misjudged, leave those spaces because they were never meant for you. So the one thing about being misunderstood at this point now, I'm completely comfortable with it because, as I said, if I'm a product of love, if my parents showed me what love looks like, you've never experienced that. I might look a little funny to you when I go out into the world with love because maybe you didn't grow up around that. Maybe you had a tough upbringing. Maybe you grew up in a household where unkind words were a norm, where disrespect was a norm, where it just wasn't as wholesome as it should be. So one thing about being misunderstood, I've come to realize it's a perfect part of life. But being misunderstood only says sometimes and is an indication to maybe you're in a space where you're not supposed to be. And rather, secondly, it doesn't appreciate you. So don't try and overly explain yourself in those spaces. Don't overdo to try and fit in because maybe you were just not supposed to be there at all. Keep it moving. You'll
I
find the people that are for you.
I get that. Which then leads to my next question. What's the one thing people would be shocked to learn about you then?
Oh, the one thing that they'll be shocked to learn about me is
Yeah.
that I also lose patience with people. Is
Hmm.
that I also have bad days. Is that I also get grumpy. I think sometimes when you're a positive person, when you have a bad day, when you have a misunderstanding with somebody, people try to paint you in a narrative, and they now try to paint your character out to maybe not be as authentic because you had a bad day. But the one thing about me is you can't expect me to just naturally be happy every day. That's not human. I'm
Hmm.
not a robot. I'm not tuned on, and I'm not dialed into happiness mode 24/7. So the one thing about me is I always try to be as authentic as I can. And where I'm wrong, I try to speak up immediately so that there's never any lingering feelings or emotions as to why I'm misunderstood or why we're having a tiff. So the one thing about me is communication can also save a nation. Just talk, talk. Why are we feeling like this? Where did we get it wrong? And
Hmm.
that's why, like, even with my friends, we know that we know where we're going. So we can never have a little falling out over a little situation. If there was an incident that we didn't appreciate, let's have a conversation as to why it happened and can it never happen again so we can keep it moving. And I feel like if you move in that energy, a lot of things become a lot simpler. Communication goes a long way.
So with that energy in mind, if this
Yeah.
was your last interview ever, what's the one message you want to leave behind?
Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Live passionately, live relentlessly, live unapologetically. Live like you're not going to live in the next 10. Live in the not like you're not going to live in the next 5. Live like today was the only day that you had to live, and anybody that interacted with you will remember you for who you were that day. Live. This life thing, everybody gets it, but they don't live. Like, yeah, we are alive, but not everybody lives. So I feel like one thing you really need to do is go out there and be passionate about everything you do. It doesn't matter if you're a car guard. It doesn't matter if you're the president. It doesn't matter if you're the security guy. Go out there and love what you do passionately. Love the people you interact with, and you see how life rewards you.
Okay. And what kind of people expect next from music and business moves?
Boom! Music and business, guys. I've got so much in store for you. I'm working on a spring summer collection for the Chiyani brand. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be colorful. The theme behind it is the colors of Africa. So expect a lot of beautiful, vibrant colors, a lot of beautiful designs, a lot of beautiful textiles used in it, and a lot of storytelling to come. A lot of beautiful visuals as well in regards to the fashion movies we're going to be creating. It's going to be an absolute spectacle. In regards to the music, Sweet Fusion is going to be coming to you end of this month. I'm planning an EP with my boy Manu Worldstar, Afro fusion, and more so just bangers that resonate with the hearts of millions. So between the fashion, the music, we've got a lot of beautiful productions coming along. And also, I've been working through my production company, Taste of Africa. I'm working on a new show that's going to be beautiful. Everything that is about my life, but more so the continent. Everything that is beautiful about Africa, from the food, the people, the cuisine, the fashion, the places, the destinations, and then something in collaboration with the motor. But more than anything, a lot of beautiful collaborations. So stay tuned to the socials, and you'll see everything unfold beautifully.
Man, your passion for Africa is the same as mine. And you know what? They always say it doesn't matter what happened yesterday, it's all about what happens the next day. And just having this
100%.
interaction with you and knowing that you're as passionate as I am about
Yeah,
Africa,
yeah,
that's what my whole platform's about. So for sure, we're
100%.
gonna link up. When I land, we're gonna link up, and
Just say when, my boy. Just say when we outside. Just say
okay,
when we outside.
I'll make sure I'll do that. But I'm not gonna let you go just yet until I
Yeah,
pick your brain quickly.
let's do it.
There we
Right? So
go.
these are some quick fire questions, and I just
Yeah,
need to know certain things to know where me and you stand. Yeah,
yeah,
that's all I need to know.
yeah. Okay, let's
So,
go.
Messi or Ronaldo?
Ronaldo.
Okay, we're good friends now. Cool. Premier League, Premier
Right off
League
the
or La Liga?
bat. But
Premier League or La Liga?
Premier League.
Sundowns or Kaiser Chiefs?
Sundowns.
Um, uh,
What?
Tell me your five-a-side team, including yourself. Could be anybody and everybody.
Five aside football.
Yeah.
Football. Ronaldo.
Yep.
Anytime, all time, huh?
You can go wherever you want to go.
Whew, my boy, you challenge me now. You challenge me now. Ronaldo definitely has to be in that five side. Ronaldinho also has to be there for the style points. I'm
Hmm.
thinking like the perfect FIFA Street team. So
Hmm.
it'll be Ronaldo. It'll definitely be Ronaldinho. I need a super striker. Somebody's got who's got a lethal. I'd have to put Wayne Rooney in the mix there for his
Okay.
grit as well. I'd definitely put Rooney up in the mix. Beckham for the style, of course, and then me being the fifth player. That's an offensive juggernaut. Like, I'm sorry, we just coming with
I
waffles.
can't wait to play football with you when I'm landing. So we'll really see. We'll really see.
We have to, my boy. We have to. I'm more of a basketball guy, but I'll definitely play some footy with you.
No worries, man.
Yeah.
Zim Warriors or Bafana Bafana?
Zim Warriors.
And who wins on the final day?
Hey, us by the grace of God.
Wow, okay. Would you play striker, winger, or coach if your life depended on it?
I would be a winger.
Okay. Mapolisa or Kabza?
Ooh, difficult. I'd have to say yes, that's difficult, man. That's difficult. Yeah.
Scorpion Kings, how about that?
Yeah, this is Scorpion Kings. Like you can't separate them. Like that's like
Hey,
the same
I
person.
said I wanted to pick your brain, bro.
Whoa. I'd have to say Mapolisa because of the personality. I feel like you'd be a dull person to link with.
Cool.
Yeah.
Uncle Waffles or Durban Gogo?
Uncle Waffles any day.
I'm a
And the energy is unmatched. The energy is unmatched.
piano or Afrobeat?
Afro beats. What are we even talking about? What are we even talking about? Afro beats.
He didn't even think twice about
No,
that.
there's
Tell
nothing
me
to
you're
think
from
about.
Zim without telling me you're from Zim. All right. Cool. Headline Coachella or a collab EP with Burna Boy?
Oh,
Headline Coachella. That's the stuff dreams are made of.
yeah.
Better
Yeah.
music culture, South Africa or Zimbabwe?
Come on, South Africa without a doubt. I can't even.
RSA, no DNA.
No,
Just
they are too.
RSA.
Hey, it's RSA. I'm sorry. There's not even the global
Remix.
exports are too lethal.
Remix one hit. I'm a piano or a Zim classic?
I'd have to go with Oliver Mutukudzi. I'd have to do a Zim classic. I'll do a Zim classic happily.
Cool. Most slept on artists in Africa?
Wow. Jesus. Chiyani Africa.
Africa, bro.
Chiyani Africa. As I said, Chiyani Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Streetwear or tailored drip?
Woo! Shit. What's the occasion?
I just first on the head, bro. This is quick fire questions, bro.
Yes, okay. Streetwear.
Cape Town or Joburg for fashion?
Cape Town, any day.
Yeah. Even as a Joburger, I'd say Cape Town.
Move me right now. I'll pack my bags.
Best dressed celeb in Africa right now?
Chiyani Africa, the one and only.
One fashion trend you regret trying?
Fashion trend. Skinny jeans. That was ridiculous.
Right. What's the first thing you pack? Shoes or cologne?
Shoes.
Describe your style in one word.
Immaculate.
Oh.
Now we're gonna get into some saucy questions now, right?
Yeah, okay, let's go.
Right. And these are all hypothetical, just so that your missus knows this is all just hypothetical. Cameron Pela or Pabi Cooper?
Who, sorry?
Cameron Pela or Pabi Cooper?
Hypothetical.
Hypothetical.
Come on.
Uncle Waffles or Mau?
Waffles.
Tyler or Nadia Nakai?
Tyler.
Boyd, actually, Zahara or Amifaku?
Wait.
Amifaku.
Okay.
SA celebs or Zim baddies?
SA celebs.
What kind of question is that, Isaac?
Listen, someone you admire but would never date.
Someone I admire but never did. Yeah, that's crazy. Jeez. Yeah, that one's tricky, man.
I mean, it could be a madman guy. You know, it could be someone you could admire Bill Gates. You're never gonna date. Could be anyone.
Kim Kardashian.
Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna move over to food and culture, right? Now I really want to know what you're gonna say here. Sadza or Pap?
Sadza, any day.
Wow. Zim style braai or South African braai?
South African style braai, any day.
Voros or Zim sausage?
Vos.
Better street food culture, SA or Zim?
SA without a doubt.
Zim beer or SA cider?
SA cider.
Who makes the best jollof?
Nigerians.
Wow. Favorite African actor.
Desmond Hunsu.
Favorite.
Dijmun Husu. Yeah, that one. Blood
Cool.
Diamond.
Cool. Favorite African American actor.
Denzel. Easy.
So who's got the most star power? Pearl Thusi or Connie Ferguson?
Connie Ferguson.
And who would play you in a biopic?
In a Bible, John Boyega.
Oh, John, he's from my area, you know.
Yeah, John would I'll definitely get John to play me.
Cool, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Well, that's it. G Star, did you have anything you wanted to add to that?
No, I'm good. That was crazy though. You put me in the hot water there. I feel like
Yes.
I might be single at the end of this
But
conversation.
remember, I said, and I heard your wife in the background, so I said it was hypothetical.
Oh, she's been watching me. She's been staring at me the whole time. That's why I'm like, I need to go put
That's
some
why you
love
had
down.
those
I need
long
to go put some
gasps.
love down.
Please let my sister know these were just questions I put together, and I do them on every show. It's not personal. We didn't have a secret talk before.
Nah. Well understood. Well understood.
Cool.
No, this was fun. I think also on behalf of everyone that's followed you from way back, honestly, from the times of MTV and Espresso. I love to say I love to see the work that you're doing, and honestly, may God give you the strength to carry on and do greater things. And you know what? I can't wait to see more from Chiyani Africa. How about
Amen.
that?
Amen and I receive. Thank you so much, my sister. I
This is
appreciate it.
amazing.
Big
It was
love, big
amazing.
love.
Yes, brother. I just want to say thank you for coming on the live. Thank you for
Yeah.
taking the time out. I wish you all positivity and success in your endeavors. And for sure, we will definitely link up when the time comes.
Nah, broski, trust me, I'm looking forward to it, my boy. Just shout when you're outside and we can definitely make magic, yeah?
For sure, for sure. Thank you
Just
for
before you leave quickly, sorry,
Yeah.
can we just find out if we're trying to cop some Chiyani Africa merchandise, where can we get it? And then also for your music, what should people be listening out for other than Sweet Fusion that's coming up?
Okay, so for the Chiyani Africa brand, you can find us. You can find us on the Chiyani Africa store. And wait, Madam wants to say something.
Oh yes,
Oh,
this is the
so
lovely Mrs. Gemma.
she's there in the background, like, and I'm like, what are you saying? So you can definitely find us at Chiyani_Africa store on Instagram. Our website goes live on the 1st of September, so you can find us online and worldwide from the 1st of September.
Would
Okay.
Miss would she like to say something?
Would you like to say
Would
something?
love to hear
Oh,
from her.
she's literally shaking her head profusely. I feel like she's even going red. So that's a no from her side. She's just smiling ear yeah.
Okay,
No,
cool.
thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Nah, thank you guys, man. I really appreciate this. Thank you for taking your time out. I appreciate the platform.
No worries, man. Thank you, man. Thank you. Take care.
Nah, big love, guys. Big love. Have a beautiful one, yeah?
You too. Take
Peace
care,
and love
brother.
you too.
Peace and love, guys. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Later.